discourage yung mga kulto-kulto na Duterte. It doesn't fit into my paradigm also in life. Sanay ako sa trabaho po. I've been with government for the best years of my life. About 2 years after graduation from the law school, taking the bar. And I've always been a servant of the people. And it's a much abused cliche, servant. When as a matter of fact, you are a master. Yung iba, that is the reason why it's kind of phenomenon in the Philippines that when a person gets to be elected in public office, there seems to be a metamorphosis inside his mind. He now thinks that he occupies a special place in the sun and just start to change everything, pati ugali. Ako po, I've been a prosecutor for the most of the time in my life and becoming the mayor for 22 years, one time a congressman and one time vice mayor to my daughter. It's been a public service to be all the time. I'd like to downplay yung mga extra adulation, glorification. It does not, nakukornihan po ako at kung ipakita mo, I try to avoid. Kasi tumitindig yung balahibo ko. Nakukornihan ako. So, that's why I just don't want it. Extra, hindi ko type yan. Hindi ko type. Kayong mga media sa Davao, alam niyo yan. Mas mabuti pa para sa akin that nobody would, well anyway, it's impossible now, but noon, I would have preferred that nobody pays attention to my presence in place. I hate it. Yung lahat halos magbaw-baw. Na mas nakukurnihan ako para bang, itong gago na to. Do not do that because this is a democracy. This is not a royalty. Nobody occupies a special place. Even if I'm your president, I would just consider me equal to you in terms of our rights and responsibilities under this republic. There's the Constitution. We are bound by it. We obey the laws. But there are things in this government which I had to do because I was the only one who could do it for us. And maybe it's a presidency. It's not really a crisis, but it's an epidemic actually. Almost a pandemic sa Philippines. It's universal worry among local law enforcement and the law enforcement itself. And I was really happy to see last night that the PDEA came up with several raids to produce shabu. Ang tagal na niyan. I'd like to congratulate the PDEA head, si Takdak, for the longest time that I saw PDEA do something about the drug crisis. I will control drugs. I will control crime. And I repeat, the predicate of it all of my statement is, I'm willing to lose the presidency, my life or honor. This is what I promise the people. I intend to do it. Yung wala namang if you have no time, if you really are doing nothing except to criticize, you might as well just write and stop messing up with me because I have this sacred promise to save the next generation from the evil of drugs. Yan ang priority ko. We work simultaneously with the economic managers of this country. I hope Sonny Dominguez would, he has had so many misgivings in the past about my offer, but I hope he would reconsider and accept it. He's going to get the finance department. Now, my classmate sa law school, who was really our valedictorian, Arto Gade, would get the DOTC. He's good. He has been connected with the Gado brothers before. He was a working student. aral kami, but he was already a big guy. He was a valedictorian. Then maybe Alan is here. Where's Alan? Dito ka na. No, below there. You are my vice president. Wala pa ng proclamation. Mabuti ta nandito si Alan. I offered Alan both, but either the Department of Foreign Affairs or the Justice Department. Ayaw ko kung anong preference niya because para kung yung departamento niya tatanggap ng he chooses one department, then the secretary of that department could be just acting secretary until 1 year. Ma-appoint ko siya as a permanent. Or he might opt to be just a member of the Senate, to which I would respect his choice. But pag ayaw niya, in acting capacity, nandito si Yasay. Where is he now? He was here, but Perfecto Yasay was my roommate sa law school kami. He was in UP Padre Faura. I was studying at San Beda College. In the meantime, hindi ako sigurado talaga kay Alan, I'll just appoint an acting secretary if Yasay wants it in 1 year. Kasi sabi naman niya, he has a teaching commitment sa, he's a professor of law sa university, sa Hawaii. And he just came home to greet me. Ngayon, sabi ko kung if he can take an extra 1 year from his, mag-furlough muna siya, take a sabbatical leave from his and just join, I would assign him sa Department of Foreign Affairs in acting capacity. Kasi sabi nga niya naman, in our short talk, I said he has this commitment of his teaching job in the United States. Ang ibibigay ko sa Communist Party of the Philippines, if they decide to join my government, open yung DAR, DNR, labor if they want. Kasi sabi na pinaka-oppressed ng yan. So they are the most vigilant group in the Philippines about labor. So they would get it. And DSWD. At marami pang iba. But those are the only departments I can concede to them. That 4. Maganda na. And marami pa namang sabi nila. But, before I forget, yung lahat, except yung mga secretary, pati undersecretary, which they would really come with great credentials, by the way. I'll get it from the younger generation. Mga undersecretary. Yung workforce, I hope they would have how would you call it? Predilection for work sa government. I would offer them by way of allowances na lang because salaries are controlled so that I can bring in parity the pay of the private sector. I cannot hope to get talents pag ganun ang sweldo ng kababa ibigay. So, maybe I have to increase the emoluments by way of allowances na lang. Sa Philippine National Police, classmates or pareho ang years of service nila, including the age, nobody would get the edge. And so I said, you just talk between the three of you. Si Apolinario, si isa, De La Rosa, pati yung si Espera. They're good. They have been my chiefs of police in the past, and I would say that was all were rendered sterling performances in the city of Davao. They are honest, they are not corrupt, and they follow orders. The number one sa police ngayon is integrity. For all of their chat-chat diyan about corruption, I've been a prosecutor for 10 years and mayor for 22 years. Awa ng Diyos, wala akong kung saan nilang kukuha yung kuha. Pati itong kuha minsan, you should not control the spending of the local government as long as it is not corrupt. As long as the benefits or money goes to the people, I really won't mind. I really won't mind if you spend the whole 1 year appropriation for the people. Pagka dumating lang sa tao, okay na ako. I would not question, but I would be strict down to the local governments, including the spending of the intelligence fund and discretionary fund. It doesn't be so that I say discretion and just throw the money left and right. I would, nandyan ang corruption and the contract sa local government. Nasa police, the assignment is integrity, honesty, and you must be passionately against drugs. If you are half-hearted or a lukewarm attitude sa drugs, you better not apply. But before I forget, all applicants dito sa bureaus and government corporations must agree that their names will be published. I'll give my staff a limit until about a certain, I don't know when, but it must be near now, then to publish, to cause the publication of the names, lahat, lalo na yung mag-apply ng mga dito sa government corporations. There are a lot of them. And again, I would stress that it goes to the best and the brightest. No political, huwag kayong maghingi ng endorsement sa senador or from anybody, congressman, governor. Pagka may attach na ano yan recommendation, automatically it is rejected. Just give me your resume and I will do the investigation if you are fit for the job. Ayaw kong yung magtawag. Remember, pag may magtawag sa akin na senador, congressman, governor, mayor, patay ka na. Patay ka na. I do not want that. Even sa army and police, do not go to me for promotion or assignment. There is the board of generals which I ordered last night to be reactivated. And it must be a vibrant. As long as there is no corruption, I will not overrule any recommendation there. So kayong gusto ng assignment, it must be on the merit. For those who want to be promoted, it should be on the merit. And that can be shown in the board of generals. Kung gusto mo ng assignment niya, do not come to me. Every chief of police, city police director that found his way to work in Davao would know that. I hate yan tawagan. Ayaw ko yan kasi in all probability, hindi ka qualified. So you just leave it that way and the public shall, will be free to comment on your qualification and any derogatory. Pero kung wala naman, at saka valedictorian ka, well, of course. Pero hindi lahat valedictorian, ano ha? Kasi sa buhay minsan, sabi ko, yung 45, yun yung maging presidente. Yung mga summa cum laude, suman lang kaya. Totoo. But you have to be, well, love of country. If I can instill in you love of country, then I know that you'll work hard for the benefit of the people. Hindi ako nagpapakorne, sabi ko. That's the drill. That's the drill. You must be willing that your name be published in the newspaper. And do not get any recommendations or any push from anybody. I will decide on my own, because after all, if anything goes wrong, if anything is not working, it is the President who will answer and have to bear the burden. Tapos baka type ninyo, ito. Lan, ikaw. Pahiya noon siya lang. Ay, ikaw na lang. Pwede naman, President Vice. Huwag na. Yun na yun, pabalik-balik. I announced last night that I'm selling the Pangulo. That yacht there, it's parking somewhere, not being used. And to think that the people are hungry and jobless, it would be an obscene thing to see a Pangulo there. Pagbili ko yan, the proceeds will be solely devoted to refurbish. If the proceeds are good enough, I'll build new buildings for the military and the police. Bilihan ko sila ng CT scan, and I will also raise the in parity. Pagka hindi tayo nakapag-tabla doon sa private sector, I do not mean to be mean to anybody, or no offense intended. For as long as the pay between the government sector and private sector has this disparity, walang magtatrabaho sa gobyerno. And what you get are specialists. Kung wala sila, then we can send them to school, or they can have the grants. And we can have the neurosurgeons and yung orthopedics. Yan ang ano dyan, neuro-orthopathy surgeon. I'll build them a new building. And kung hindi kaya, kung ganun lang ang kikitain ko, I'll just refurbish the Veterans Memorial Hospital. I'll just bring it also in par with the other hospitals in Manila. Para kabaga naman kung mamatay ka, wala kang sisihin. One. The other one is I was talking to the prospective commanders. Sabi ko sa kanila, no follow-ups. You activate your board of generals. As long as there is no exceeding of authority or abuse of confidence, I will not interfere in the... Itong sa gobyerno, I have noticed that it's really pure junkets. Alam ko yan kasi I started from a special counsel, then being the 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd assistant city fiscal. Yung mga seminar, it costs a lot of money. People going there to Manila. Hindi naman talaga yan eh. It's pure junket. I tell you, it's pure junket. So, no more seminars that yung mga tao pupunta ng Maynila. Rather, we will have the seminars in the local venue, then let the lecturers come to Davao. So makamura ako niyan. And no more lakbay aral. Again, that's walang ginawa, gamitin ang pera ng barangay para pangmasyal. You know, being elected as barangay captain or a barangay kagawad does not give you the right to go around the Philippines. May isa pa dito, would you believe it, Hong Kong? Oh, totoo. Tanungin mo yan si Lavinia. Malapit ko itapon yung papel sa mukha. No? Butit na lang, hindi ako si ano. Talagang, I almost fell off my chair. Hong Kong, maglakbay aral. Ano, magkain ka ng pansit doon? Just be crazy. Wala na yan. Stop this business of... those are my thoughts, yung ano ko. Sinusulat ko lang yung the 1 week that I had a long Kasi bumawi lang ako ng tulog. 8 hours sleep. Short of that, I'm not at my best element. Kaya, yung sabi nocturnal, it used to be that Davao was really very, very... so, I used to patrol at nights. Check on the police kung hindi natutulog sa istasyon. Kasi yung ginawa ng mga buang, yung lamisa dyan, ipagpatong dikit-dikit nila, tapos magdala ng unan, pati maglatag ng newspaper, matulog. So I was going around, but they were also afraid to go out because of the assassins, itong left. We used to lose something like 3-4 policemen and soldiers a day. Kaya I had to, kasi pag hindi, papatayin talaga ng mga gago eh. So I had to be there just to let them know of my presence. Hindi naman nagyayabang, but we were kind of, there was a modus vivendi between us. Until now, ang police, talaga hindi. The last time, nagalit talaga ako. I went to the mountain, yak-yak ako doon. Back to them. It was about 3 weeks ago. Itong sa guns, I'd like to address myself to the constabulary, the PC. Itong krami, rather. I will not allow the licensing of heavy firearms. It's just a shotgun or a .22 rifle and one short. Any caliber would do, as long as it is a short. Rifles, shotguns, and .22. Wala ng heavy firearms. AK-47, M16, those already given the licenses. Okay lang yan. But no permit to carry shall be issued to civilians dito sa long firearms. Short lang. And it must be under stringent conditions. Ayaw ko yung magbili ng mga almost an armory. Ipagdanakaw yan, ibigay mo yan doon sa kabila. Several times it happened in our country. Itong NPA is a homegrown rebel group, and about the only time that I can remember na talagang galing sa labas, I will not now name the country because we are on friendly terms. Yung Karagatan, if you care to remember, this was this Karagatan, a small ship that was seized in Mindoro. Yun lang ang nalaman ko na pumasok ang armas dito na mga AK-47. Of recent memory, it was itong shipment ng AK-74. It's actually a Kalashnikov with, you can use the American M16s. Okay, iba pa kasi configuration ng bullet. But this was really adapted. And a lot of them found to the hands of the NPA. I do not begrudge the NPAs for looking for arms. There's a war. But then again, as maybe God wills it that I'd reach my oath-taking days, they have to realize that I am with government and I am the enemy also. But I offer my hand in peace to Season and to the rest, and we can talk. I've mentioned the positions that are available to you, and you can join, and several positions dyan sa mga bureaus, mga government corporations, provided you are qualified, provided you have the educational bearing to hack your job. Then I would plead to Congress to restore death penalty. Heinous crime committed with unlicensed firearms must be death. Rape plus death ang sa victim must be death penalty. Kidnapping tapos with ransom, pinatay ninyo, must be death penalty. Robbery with homicide with rape, double the hanging. After you're hanged first, then there will be another ceremony for the second time. Hanggang putol talaga yung completely severed yung ulo sa katawan. I would like that. Because I'm mad. Now, the reason why nagmumura ako said because I was mad, but wag na ngayon. Alam mo, ang yumaman dito sa pagmumura ko, yung pares namin dito sa Davao. Every time I say PI o L, bayad ako ng the parish is also busy exacting tax from me. No different from the NPAs. Now, itong release of papers. Ang problema ito sa gobyerno nito is corruption. Pagdating doon ng applicant, or whatever, clearance or any document that needs government intervention, people are made to wait until they die. So this has to change. I do not want to see people queuing. Naglilinya. My proposal is, in all government departmental institutions, I will see that yung mga clearances, dito sa Davao, gano'n. Clearance, electrical connections, business permit, 72 hours. After 72 hours, you are no longer allowed to release the documents or papers. You have to forward the papers to me, and I will ask you why it took you more than 3 days to process the papers. So that's, I'd like to have that followed all over the Philippines, a department, executive. I do not mind Congress. We have separate branches here, executive, judiciary, and legislative. Hindi ako pwedeng makialam sa kanila. So, gusto ko dito sa akin, department, NEDA, it takes about 2-3 years. DDR, ganon, you know, akala ko babayad tayo sa tao. Saan yung, where are the computers that would make it fast? We've been acquiring computers to make our work easier, and here comes the delay for nothing. Ayaw lang ninyo magtrabaho, kaya ayaw ninyo magtrabaho, sabihin mo, maghanap ako ng iba. Departments, defense or whatever, 30 days. Signatures, NEDA takes about 47. 5 signatures. I do not give how you configure the signing authority in that office. If you are not willing to do it, let me know, because maraming Pilipino dyan sa labas na naghanap ng trabaho. Anak ka ng, believe me, pati police, kayong mga police, those who are already contaminated, and you should know, and those who are into the business of pending cases, and even the generals, and they know who they are, resign or retire bago ako mag-take out. Kasi I hate to name you publicly and to ask you to resign because you are yung may mga kaso, alis na ngayon. I do not care kung wala pang judgment. Get out. Pag hindi, I plan to invade Hulo sa yung layer ng Abu Sayyaf. Prepare now for combat duty there. Kayo ang utosan ko. At kung kayo ang hostage doon, say you're our fathers because I will never pay any to retrieve you. Wala. Prangkahan tayo sa buhay na ito. Huwag na tayo. Never mind about human rights. Never mind about. Just them set aside first. They are there, so nandiyan na yan sila. Congressional investigation, okay lang yan. But then I would like to, dito si Alan, I would like to plead sa Congress to be more circumspect. I have once upon a time been a congressman, and I should know. In the way you treat the bureau directors, you treat the cabinet members before you treat the witnesses, pati mga police generals. sigaw-sigawan ninyo. I will not allow it. I will not allow it. Look at Angie Reyes, a good general, spent most of his years serving our country. He was a valedictorian. And then this good thing itong, how much was it? 2 million that was being, talked about. It was being contested. Tapos itong si Reyes, in the heap of the garbage thrown at him, said, Your Honor, may I be allowed to talk just to save also my honor and dignity? What was the answer of Trillanes? No, shut up. You have no right to answer. You have no dignity. Huwag ninyong gawin yan sa mga generals. Kasi hindi talaga ako papayag. Especially if they represent me. Now, there will be a lot of investigations, insinuations and all, itong drive against criminality. Tumabi muna kayo and do not insult people just because you are there. Nothing is added to your privilege or right or to your mouth kung hindi ka talagang mayabang. Ina ka. You do not insult people. Who are you? Saan dyan sa Constitution magsabi na, the Congress will have the right to insult people and no. Do not do that. Do not do that to the witnesses from the Executive Department. I will not allow it. Magbungguan tayo dyan. If you want the presence there, good. Be courteous to them. Be civil. If you start to bamboozle them and insult them and tell them, umuwi kayo. Do not appear there. And there will be a stalemate and you create a constitutional crisis. Then that would be the time that we'll have to decide what to do with this country. Mahirap yan. At dito sa Philippines, gano'n eh. What give you the right to just throw your insults at the person? Gano'n ninyo ako. Sirado kayo. Bili ako ng magandang lock dyan sa Binondo. Wag ganun. Kasi mahirap yan eh. So we have this mandatory, I will study. But I think departmental, especially yung crossing between departmental channels should be faster. So that's the secretary. The secretary should go to the secretary also. No delays. No delays. Intindihan na siguro. So prepare yung mga naglakbay aral ngayon. There was such abuse of people's money. Seminar. Biro magpadala ka doon ng 300, 400. Pagdating pagsibatan lang yan. Kagaya namin noon. Ako hindi ako kilig kasi ang sinasabi ng gago, mas alam ko. So when I start to hear lecturing on some na medyo't mali pa, uwi na ako. Buang ito, walang alam. Bakit ito ang pinadala dito? At itong Civil Service Commission, pinadalahan pa naman ako ng supina kasi violation of ethics, nagpuputang yan. Human Rights and the Civil Service Commission. You may disagree by what I say, but you have to defend my right to say it. That's freedom of expression. Those words come from Disraeli. Just because you have the laws there, you do not override the highest constitutional right of a person. If he wants to make a fool of himself, let him be. That is his constitutional right, the highest law of the land. Never mind about ethics. Ethics, the standards ethics cannot override a constitutional provision of freedom of expressions and of speech. Note that. And I'm human rights. Every time I make a gesture, explain. Sabi, walang alam. Walang alam. Study the Constitution because that governs everybody and anybody. Dito sa civil constitution, there will be a seminar, local, maybe one afternoon every week from one. You have to mend your ways, be courteous, be respectful to the public because they are the ones, the public is paying for your salary. Dito kasi supladuhan. Kaya there's a metamorphosis that changes the mind of a person if he joins government. Lalo na itong malalaking position. Akala mo sino na? For example, this one mayor sa Metro Manila. Hindi lang siya nakilala ng mga waiter sa kasi KFC o Jollibee. Sinirahan niya yung if I were the president at the time, tapos marinig yun, I suspend you. For the charge, oppression. Why? Insecurity. Hindi ka lang makalam ng tao, ba't masuspend yung... Who are you to be recognized in a way? For all you know, yung tao, yung salary niya noon at source and taxation. Most of the time in my life, and becoming the mayor for 22 years, one time a congressman and one time vice mayor to my daughter. It's been a public service to be all the time. I'd like to downplay yung mga extra adulation, glorification. It does not, nakokornihan po ako at kung ipakita mo, I try to avoid. Kasi tumitindig yung balahibo ko. Nakokornihan ako. So, that's why I just don't want it. Extra, hindi ko type yan. Hindi ko type. Kayong mga media sa Davao, alam niyo yan. Mas mabuti pa para sa akin that nobody would, well anyway, it's impossible now, but noon, I would have preferred that nobody pays attention to my presence in the place. I hate it. Yung lahat halos magbaw-baw. Na mas nakukurnihan ako para bang itong gago na to. Do not do that because this is a democracy. This is not a royalty. He is good. He has been connected with the Gado brothers before. He was a working student. Aral kami. But he was already a big guy. He was a valedictorian. Then maybe Alan is here. Where's Alan? Dito ka na. No, bilang na. You are my vice president. Wala pa ng proclamation. Mabuti ta nandito si Alan. I offered Alan either the Department of Foreign Affairs or the Justice Department. Ayaw ko kung anong preference niya because para kung yung departamento niya tatanggap ng he chooses one department, then the secretary of that department drugs. I will control crime. And I repeat, the predicate of it all of my statement is I'm willing to lose the presidency, my life or honor. This is what I promised the people. I intend to do it. Yung wala namang if you have no time, if you really are doing nothing except to criticize, you might as well just write and stop messing up with me because I have this sacred promise to save the next generation from the evil of drugs. Yan ang priority ko. We work simultaneously with the economic managers of this country. I hope Sonny Dominguez would, he has had so many misgivings in the past about my offer, but I hope he would reconsider and accept it. He's going to get the finance department. Now, my classmate sa law school, who was really our valedictorian, Arto Gade, would get the DOT. Loyalty, nobody occupies a special place. Even if I'm your president, I would just consider me equal to you in terms of our rights and responsibilities under this republic. There's the Constitution, we are bound by it, we obey the laws. But there are things in this government which I had to do because I was the only one who could do it for us. And maybe it's a presidency. It's not really a crisis, but it's an epidemic actually. Almost a pandemic sa Philippines. It's universal worry among local law enforcement and the law enforcement itself. And I was really happy to see last night that the PDEA came up with several raids to produce shabu. Ang tagal na yan. I'd like to congratulate the PDEA head, si Takdak, for the longest time that I saw PDEA do something about the drug crisis. I will control. Even discourage yung mga kulto-kulto na Duterte. It doesn't fit into my paradigm also in life. Sanay ako sa trabaho po. I've been with government for the best years of my life. About 2 years after graduation from the law school, taking the bar. And I've always been a servant of the people. And it's a much abused cliche, servant. When as a matter of fact, you are a master. Yung iba, that is the reason why it's kind of phenomenon in the Philippines that when a person gets to be elected in public office, there seems to be a metamorphosis inside his mind. He now thinks that he occupies a special place in the sun and just start to change everything, pati ugali. Ako po, I've been a prosecutor for